Hello, welcome, guys. Okay, I made an announcement that I would be going live after the Boris speech, which is just finished. And this is to really just give people a little bit of context as to what we need to be doing. Now, this is not a panic session. This is not anything to fear. This is just about really taking the right action and being able to prepare for what potentially could come. Um, so if you just bear with me actually 1 second, I just want to share this out into my groups and welcome for those who are joining and coming in. I just want to get this out there because I think it's really important that we all have a clear understanding of what to prepare for. It's not about burying your head in the sand. It's not about panicking because the biggest threat isn't so much the coronavirus. The thing that we need to think about is the economic impact that this will have on pretty much everybody. And so I want to really talk around that and also share some potential solutions we can look at once doing that. So if you give me a few moments, I really want to share this into my community and onto my page so that people can hear and kind of join the conversation and hear some of the views and thoughts that I have around this. And for those of you who have followed me for a little while, I'm sure you pretty much know my background as to me being involved in the cryptocurrency space, which is kind of like around knowing that there was an imminent threat coming when it came to the financial markets and knowing that, we were going towards something eventually that would have an impact on many of us. And this is not a time to be afraid. And this is what I want to share with you guys. This is not a time to be scared. This is a time to step up into action because we know that things were going to change. Economies are changing, the internet is changing things. Just bear with me, guys. I just want to post this in my group. We knew that times are changing, and this was kind of like inevitable. What we're going through right now is inevitable. But what we need to be doing is preparing ourselves for a lockdown. We need to be preparing ourselves for the fact that we may not be able to be going into our jobs. We may not be, sorry guys, just bear with me 1 second. We may not be able to carry out the work that we always, we did, and it's just what it is. So it's not a time to panic. It's not a time to worry. It's a time to think and strategize about what you can do, especially if you are an entrepreneur or you have a business and you are worried right now about, how am I going to survive? How is my business going to survive? Or if you have a job where you've been laid off or you potentially could be laid off, how can I make this work? So I just want to give a bit of context. I just watched Boris's speech and just give me 1 second, guys. I need to share this to my page. And guys, if you feel this is going to be of value to anybody, please share. There's caring and sharing. And so for those of you who have followed, what I've been talking about for a little while now about, making sure that we are preparing ourselves and having businesses that are online, because we knew that sometimes our employers and these companies may not be there. They may not be able to continue to support us and give us that financial support. So I've been speaking about this for a few years now, and most people can attest that I have been talking about an potential economic collapse, which was why we were looking at cryptocurrencies and digital currencies, which I still think are going to be very, very pertinent to what's going on, because right now there's a mass quantitative easing. So the Federal Reserve have basically, they've just done infinity, which means they're printing money in infinity. That means there's no cap. It's like having a credit card with no limit. And the result of that is that there's going to be more money printed, which means the cost of goods and services are going to go up. The cost of bread and the cost of just basic food is going to go up. So if you're not really financially prepared or don't have a contingency plan in how you're going to actually make money and be able to not only survive but thrive, because let me explain something to you. There's been great depressions that have happened. There has been recessions that have happened. We've had the 2008 crash, and there were groups of people that actually really thrived. They actually, like during that period, I remember working for a company, and during the 2008 crash, what happened is that because people were laying people off, the CEOs were now using telemarketing companies to book their appointments because they still had to do business, but they now needed to have to outsource. Instead of having employees, they outsourced it. So that business during the 2008 crash thrived. They were just in business. They boomed because the market shifted, the market pivoted in. And so what became necessary was, having these companies, these outsourced companies to do the work rather than having employees, because right now companies are going to have to cut costs. Companies and businesses that cannot open for trade or for the public are going to have to reduce their costs. So, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to have costs and not need services. And this is where entrepreneurs and even people who are working in jobs need to be thinking like an entrepreneur and thinking about how they can get through and not only survive but thrive, because where there's a threat, there's always an opportunity. There's like two sides to everything. Where there is crisis, there is actually something good going on. And this is, we've just heard Boris, who has mentioned that this could go on for the next 3 months. So we could be in this predicament for the next 3 months. And as more businesses find that they cannot access capital to keep employees on, a lot of people will lose their jobs. And I know I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just reality. It's better to face reality than to sit in burying your head in the sand or just hoping that things are going to change. You have to take action. You have to do something different and take control into your own hands right now, because no one's going to save you. They may try and do something, but nobody's going to save you. And this is something I have been talking about for a long time. And those who've been following me and, follow me from my Bitcoin era, where I was talking about the fact that we need to look at alternative currencies because the dollar may collapse, or the UK and even the British pound, it's falling right now. We know, I've been speaking to, so I'm part of the Entrepreneurs Institute, which is, we have like 1.3 million entrepreneurs in this. We're one of the largest entrepreneur institutes. We are the largest entrepreneur institute in the world. So I'm connecting and speaking with many, many people in business, people who are doing IPOs, people who are running $100 million companies, people who are running small businesses. And one of the biggest things that, we were told is that don't hedge your currency on the US dollar or the Great British Pound, because we know that based on the data, and this is what people have to understand, we have to look at data. It's not, conspiracies or it's just data. Like, we know that there's booms and there's busts and there's a boom. So we're going for a bust at the minute, and probably one of the biggest ones in the last 100 years. I'm going to be honest. And this is not to create panic or fear. It's to help understand where we're at. And once you know where you're at, you can then prepare yourself for what is next to come. And this is the whole purpose why I will be showing up a lot more, because I've been following this stuff for many, many years. And one of the reasons why I pivoted my business maybe last 18 months is because I knew, okay, the financial market is going to have its own issues. So the real businesses that survive are the ones that are cash rich. And so going into the online space and the education space and being able to sell and being able to mentor and help people not only brought cash, but also gave people the tools that they will need now, which is how to sell, how to create products that people need. This isn't about taking money or selling things that aren't of value. Right now, there are people who need things. People need to figure out how to bring their businesses digitally, because right now in a lockdown, we're not going to be able to do the physical thing where we're meeting each other and going out there. That's not going to be happening for a little while, because we are imminently on a lockdown. And whilst Boris, which I was expecting him to do today, is to announce that we are officially on lockdown, even though we know troops are, being positioned, being sent out. We're seeing it. If people know what's going, people who know what's going on. But I believe that because they don't want to create this mass hysteria, because people are already panic buying, people are already, having this fear, and they don't want to create this mass hysteria, which there doesn't need to be. There doesn't need to be this mass hysteria. What people need to be doing is really thinking about how they can prepare themselves for what is going to come over the next couple of months. And part of that is that maybe you will not be able to go into work or have a job even. And this is what I was talking about before, which is why understanding how to make an income online, how to position yourself, and how to create products that people need. And right now, what people need is to understand how to go online, how to not necessarily sell, but how to solve people's problems. And the biggest problem I believe people are going to have right now is, how do I move my business online? Or how do I create a business online so that I'm not relying on my employer, I'm not relying on people for my income, but I have a level of control to be able to still, make an income. I'm still able to sell my products. I'm still able to serve people. I'm still able to do business. And for those people who are not, online, and yes, the market is going to contract. There is a lot of people who won't be buying, but there's a lot of people who will be, because there's a lot of needs out there. And yes, the biggest demand right now is definitely the essentials. But part of those essentials is for people to really understand, how do I really show up and do business online, market my business online, market myself online, serve people in a powerful way, give people value. Because right now, it's not about low value products. It's not about selling shoes. People aren't going to be buying shoes as much. People aren't going to be spending on luxury products. People aren't going to be buying things that they want. They're going to be buying things that they need. So what are the things that people need right now? And the biggest thing people need right now is to be able to have a business that is going to enable them to get through this period while they're not in work, while they're out of a job, while they have to stay at home, while the business that they were working for doesn't work, or while your existing business has to go digital. A lot of businesses right now have to go digital. There is no other way you're going to survive, because when we go into official lockdown, which I'm surprised we didn't do it today, but obviously I trust that our government has their own reasons why they're delaying this imminent lockdown. It could be to do with insurance, whatever. The point is that we have been told to stay at home, work from home. But what happens to people who their business can't do that? Happens to restaurants and the restaurant workers and the shop workers and all these businesses where working from isn't an option. What if how the mothers and single mothers, childcare crisis, they have to find a way to make an income from home. And this is what I've been talking about for a very long time. And for those of you who have watched me, followed me, know about me, know that I've been speaking about this for a very long time. And now we're at the point where it's not optional. Those businesses that are existing, you guys have to now, as business leaders, show up. The healers, the teachers, the therapists, the consultants, we have to show up very, very well to help people get through this, because it's not about relying on the government. The government can do what they can do, and I applaud what we're doing at the minute, and I'm very, very grateful for how this thing has been handled. But the power really is in the business leaders. It's in the people that want to become business leaders. It's in the people that want to create a difference. And our world is shifting. Things will never be the same again, guys. And this is what I want people to understand. This is not to impart fear. This is not to make people scared, but to look at things from a realistic perspective and to prepare. That's all you have to do, is prepare and take action. You're either going to fight or be in fright. And those people who are in fright are going to stay, they're going to just, it's like you, when you get frightened, you just stand still and you don't do anything. But those people who are willing to fight are going to say, right, do you know what? I'm not going to be a sitting duck in this situation. I'm not going to allow circumstances to hold me back, and I'm going to figure this out. And the one thing you need to figure out is right now, how do I serve online? How do I provide value online? How do I build a business online? Because guess what? People are still buying what they need. And it's your job to figure out what people need and serve them. What problem can you solve right now that people need? You know, right now my business is hiring people, because we know that naturally people want to go digital, and that's what our business does. We create the systems, we give people the strategy, we help people go through this. And so whilst this is going on, it's like I'm hiring, you know, we're actually preparing to expand, because we know that there's going to be a bigger demand. So many people have been laid off this week, and this is going to get bigger. You know, this is going to get bigger. The virus is growing. And whilst I have my own views on the virus in terms of the impacts and effect, I don't really care about the virus per se, because there's more people that are surviving it. And yes, there is a high risk group that we need to keep safe. And this is why I agree with the social distancing. I agree that we need to, you know, be very precautious, because there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people's lives at risk, and everybody's life is valuable and worthy. So we all have to take the right precautions. But as a result of that, it means that we have to distance, we have to isolate, and we have to be in our homes. And if you don't know how to make money from your home, if you don't know how to sell online, if you don't know what products and what services people need, if you don't know how to service the businesses who may need you, if you don't know how to position yourself, then chances are you're going to be in that pool of people who are literally going to sit in a sinking ship. And you don't need to be there. You don't. You have a choice. Everyone has a choice. Everybody has a choice. So, you know, it's really about us figuring out what we need to be doing. This is not a time to panic. This is not a time to be in a state of fear. And I'm going to be honest, even if you are, it's natural. I've had my own moments, you know, because this is unprecedented. We have never, ever, ever been through this. You know, the entrepreneurs that I've been speaking to, you know, even some of the big guys that I look up to and, you know, take advice from, you know, everybody's like uncertain. We don't know. But one thing we do know, and one thing we know that people are doing, is they're pivoting their business to go digital. And we don't have no choice, because we can't be as well. It seems for the next 3 months, we are not going to be able to be as socially present with each other. So we need to now use these tools that we have, like social media, our communities and people around us, to enable us to still keep sharing, still keep helping people solve their problems, still providing and delivering services that people need. You know, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of children now that are out of school. So what is the need? There's a need for online education. One of my clients now is setting up, you know, online classes, because parents are going to need a way to teach their kids. You know, there's a lot of businesses right now that are looking at setting up online. You know, there's a lot of workers who have lost their jobs that now their only alternative is to set up online. So this is something I have been doing for the last couple of years. I've been working with a lot of the top internet marketers, a lot of the digital business owners who are building, you know, big brands and big businesses, and making, you know, sometimes in excess of $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. And I guarantee these businesses are going to exponentiate right now, because there is a need. There is a huge need. So what I'm saying to everybody is, me and my team are preparing. And if you want to prepare with us, and if you want to learn some of the strategies that we are implementing right now, and learn how to bring your business digitally, or start a business, excuse me guys, or start a business online, learn how to create, especially in this era, how to create value-based services that can help people get through this, how to support people, and how to not only survive but thrive. Because I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but if anybody knows me, I will speak the truth and I'll speak it as it is. You know, we are living in unprecedented times. There is a lot of things going on that we are not even privy to understand what's going on, but all we know is that the impact it's going to have on us and our families, and we have to prepare for it. We have to set ourselves up to win, not fail. We have to look at where the market is going. You know, we have to look at what people need and what problems we can solve. And the biggest problem you can solve right now for yourself is knowing how to, one, create a level of ownership of your future and yourself and your family, be able to create something and solve people's problems so you can sell and help people get through this, and also prepare yourself to be in the driver's seat of your destiny, because there is many things you cannot control, but you can control what you do. And right now, affirmative action is what people need. We need to take action. You know, there's no savior coming. You are your own savior. And once you recognize that, and once you recognize you do have the power, and you do have the tools, and you do have the people, as I said, myself and my team, we're here. You know, I'm hosting a webinar, an emergency briefing on this Sunday, and I'm going to show people exactly the strategies and things that we're doing right now in our business to make sure that we survive, whether it's, you know, whether it's reducing our rates, whether it's creating new products and services that are going to help people navigate through this, whether it's creating free programs to help people navigate, whether it's creating communities so we can work in solidarity and as a group online. Because right now, I mean, funny enough, the other day I went onto I've never done this before, but this was the best experience. So because we couldn't do a networking, we had a Zoom networking where we had breakout sessions by the Zoom call. So what this allowed me to do is to have one-on-ones with other entrepreneurs who were trying to solve you know, things in their business. I ended up recruiting and finding like two great people and one amazing new client. I actually picked up a new client because we were now having to, and these are people from all over the world. These were people like from America, and they actually adored the British accent. And so I saw that there was like this new wave of us networking and actually working together and creating new teams, just because we're now using the internet in a much powerful way. Everybody is worried, and I get that, but you do not need to be. I believe this is going to be the best time for some people and some entrepreneurs right now, because those who we're thinking forward, we're thinking about the digital economy, we're thinking about building brands online. This is your time to thrive. Those of you who are in that space, this is your time to really show up. And I'm really speaking right now to the healers and the teachers and the therapists and the people who we need. Like, people need you. People are going through their own crisis and people are afraid. And we need people to show up to remind people that they are the power center. They are the author of their own destiny. And no matter what's going on outside of you, and all this distraction and all this coronavirus and all this going on, you have the power to make conscious choices about what you want to create. And you also have, and especially if you're watching this, you have the people like myself and like my team and like all the other entrepreneurs that I work with and all the other business leaders that I work with and all the coaches and everybody who have solutions, who can help you and who are willing to help you, because we're not in this alone. This is a global movement. This is a global movement of solidarity. And yes, we may not be able to sit down with each other, but I definitely can speak to you through a screen right now. You know, I definitely can give you tools and advice and strategies and ideas and new belief systems that enable you and empower you to take control. And it's really important, especially for women as well, who are, you know, maybe you're a single mother, or maybe you're on your own and you're not feeling, you know, a sense of security, and men as well, because it's not just women who are suffering. There's a lot of people who are afraid. And I want to remind you, do not be afraid. This time will pass. but be prepared and prepare yourself well. So on Sunday, I'm going to be doing a full, probably 2 hours, 90 minutes, 2 hours session, sharing the exact strategies that I've been using for the past 2 years to make multiple 5-figure launches. Even the last launch that I did, my client made like 10 grand in 7 days. My last, no, well, my client after that, she's made about, now she's about on 250 leads. And again, she's like tapping into new markets where this virus isn't affecting them as much. So people are still buying, people still want to do things, people still need things, but it's about really positioning yourself and being able to offer the right people, the right services, and being present enough to do that. So I'm going to be showing people exactly how to do that. There's no charge, there's no hard sale, there's nothing. It's really about empowering people with the tools, with the strategies that I've been using, with the strategies that my mentors and business leaders that, I get my sources. I have my sources who are sharing what they're doing, and I'm just passing this down to other people so that we can all get through this time. I mean, we're just at the very, very beginning of what's to come. And if you're not pivoting and preparing yourself for the next 3 months, then by 3 months' time, you may be in a worse position. So I'm opening this opportunity and inviting you into this space of me, my community, my business partners, and individuals who have solutions around you learning how to create cash flow, learning how to build digital businesses, learning how to serve people in a way that helps them so that you can also help yourself. Business is all about serving people. It's not about making money. It's about solving people's problems. It's about doing something for someone else that they cannot do for themselves. And when you can do that well, and when you can do that in a way of service rather than greed, you will always be rich. You'll always receive, because life gives to the giver. Life gives to the people who stand up and show up. That's just a universal principle. And when you start understanding these principles and applying it to your life and to your business and to your relationships, things do change. And these are the things that I teach. It's like, we're not here to be, oh, greedy, 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 give me. No, we're here to serve each other. We're here to make the world a better place. And right now, the world needs everyone to show up. So I urge and encourage you all. Join me for the call. I'm going to be revealing a lot of stuff that I've been doing in the background, how we've been able to get these amazing results, how we've been able to consistently every month make 5 figures and 6 figures in a period of time. And you can do the same thing regardless of the market. Everything is about understanding what people need, what you need, and how to position yourself and how to prepare yourself for what's about to come. So links in the comment. Join me on Sunday. We're going to be doing this on Zoom. So it's a private call for a group of people. And we're going to be going through what you can do to prepare yourself for the next 12 weeks. So I love you all. Please stay focused. Please stay positive. This is not the end. This is just the beginning, right? And there's people who are going to thrive, not only survive, but thrive through this. So make sure you're one of them, okay? I love you all. Stay safe and look after yourself and look after your family.